Hi, my name is Quinn Hearn. I'm a professor in the Central Campus Math Department of Broward College, and I want to thank you for taking a few minutes to listen to my ideas on how to use email as a tool for student success. In this brief video, we're going to discuss some techniques to enhance overall student satisfaction and improve the classroom experience. One of the aspects of teaching that I've found most challenging was building rapport with the class. It can be very intimidating to ask questions and participate in the class. I'm sure, like me, you've had the experience of asking a class, "Are there any questions?" and not a single student responds, even though you're pretty sure that they didn't understand the lecture. I've explored many methods within the classroom for improving the atmosphere, but it was through my experience as an online instructor that I stumbled across a discovery that I could actually use email outside of the classroom to improve the rapport inside the classroom and the overall student satisfaction with the class. With so many ways to digitally interact with our students, you might be wondering why email might be a good choice. I like email because of the direct contact with the students. It reaches them where they are. There's a chance that when they're looking at their smartphone, they actually might be looking at a message from me. I also like it because it's easy to use, both for the students and for me. There's no setup required, and I can contact a lot of students in a short amount of time. Another benefit is the privacy. They don't have to be concerned about other students listening. The email accounts I've used in the past have included official college student email accounts, D2L, Desire to Learn online email account, and publisher email accounts from online homework management sites like Alex or My Math Lab. In this presentation, I'm going to discuss the overviews for 3 techniques. One is the first day email assignment. Another is the Ask My Instructor email. And another is what I call the touching base email. Let's start with the first day email assignment. The first day email assignment is a kind of an icebreaker. It gives you the opportunity to open up a line of communication with the students and also to reinforce any information you provided on the first day that you might be concerned that the students have missed. The steps for implementing the first day email assignment are to explain the purpose to the class, give detailed instructions, prompt the students to share with you the information that you might want to learn from them, be prepared to respond quickly, and to always follow up. When you assign the first day email, you're going to know the purpose of it, but the students might not really understand. So it's important to tell them clearly what you're hoping to gain by having them participate in this activity. The most important thing to tell them is that you're doing it because you want them to be successful. As with any assignment, the students will need clear instructions. Make sure they understand which email account that you want them to use, how it works, and what you want them to include in the message. They also need to know that they can expect a response from you so that they know to look for it. Prompting students to answer a question or two about themselves can also help to convince them that you in fact do care about their success in the class. Preparation will allow you to respond effectively and in less time. You can prepare a positive response in advance. This response can be copied and pasted. Here's a tip. Email the response to yourself so that you have it on any device you want to use. Be sure to personalize the emails with the student's name and thank them for sharing any personal information. If you happen to be using D2L, your copied and pasted response could actually include the student's name because D2L has a feature where their name appears automatically using braces with the phrase first name in between. The follow-up is also important. The next time your class meets, remind the students that you responded. Some of them probably forgot to even look for your response. This is also a good time to emphasize that this communication with them is important to you because you want them to be successful. Some students will miss the emails for a variety of reasons. 1, they might have checked the wrong account. 2, the message might not have gone through. Or 3, you might have overlooked the message that they sent. One reason messages don't go through is that students sometimes enter the wrong email address into their homework management system. If that's the case, you can look it up with them just to make sure that the email is correct. But the most important thing is to emphasize that you encourage replies to that email. This is important because it helps to create a more positive environment in which the students feel supported, even if they never respond to your email. Now let's talk about the Ask My Instructor email, which is my favorite email technique because it actually involves course content. This is where students are encouraged to send their questions through email as an an alternative to asking questions in class. I stole the name from Pearson because in my math lab, there's a button that students can push next to their homework exercise that says Ask My Instructor, and it automatically sends an email with the exact question to my email account. I love this feature, but you can also encourage students to send their questions through other email accounts. Since most of them have smartphones, they can actually take a picture of the question and send it to you. Once again, it's important to explain the purpose, give clear instructions, respond to the questions, and follow up. It's usually pretty clear to the students that the purpose of the Ask My Instructor email is to let them ask you questions about content. But it's also important to emphasize that your purpose as the instructor is to help them be successful. It's always important to provide clear instructions. Once again, which email account is going to be used and which information should be in the email. Something that's critical to share with the students is what response they can expect. Also, that if they prefer, they can ask their questions via email and have them answered in class. A key component of the Ask My Instructor technique with email. Students are often surprised by that suggestion, and they love it because then they don't have to raise their hand in class. Now, when you go to respond to the Ask Instructor email, working the problem in class, it's so important to let the class know that you are answering an Ask My Instructor question. This communicates to the class that not only are you paying attention to their emails, but you're actually going to address an issue that one of the other students had. I always make a point of actually thanking students for sending the Ask My Instructor questions to let the rest of the class know that I'm happy that I received them, that I want them to be successful. And it really empowers the students because instead of being fearful of asking questions, they feel rewarded. Here are some tips for answering via email if you choose to do that as well. First, you can save responses to frequently asked questions by emailing them to yourself. Second, write your response out on paper. Take a picture of it and send it to the student. Or record a verbal response. You have to make sure that your messages are getting through to the students. Nothing is more discouraging to the students than not having their questions addressed. So make sure to ask if anyone has sent you an Ask My Instructor email and hasn't received a response. Most importantly, remind students that you're looking forward to these messages. Lastly, let's talk about the touching base email. These are emails where you're reaching out to students rather than waiting for them to contact you. There are many situations in which you might decide as a professor that you want to send a touching base email. Perhaps the student is absent, or maybe the student really performed well on a test and you just want to give them some words of appreciation. I hope you found at least one of these techniques helpful, and if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to send me an email at qhearn@broward.edu.